You were never meant to bow. Ah, my warriors, the ones who've stared into the abyss and did not blink, the ones who've been cast aside, spat on, ridiculed, and left for dead. Welcome. Today is not a day for softness, not a day for second chances. No, today is a reckoning, but not yours. No, no, you've already been through your funeral 1,000 times, buried beneath your mockery, their sneers, their venomous whispers. But today we dig graves, and not for you. We dig for them, the betrayers, the cowards, the parasites who feasted on your pain. It's time to bury them beneath the weight of their own insignificance. They laughed at you, didn't they? Called you weak, called you a failure. Maybe they whispered it behind your back, or maybe they had the audacity to spit it in your face. They needed you to stay small, to stay broken, because your rise would expose their own mediocrity. They built their fragile power on your silence, on your suffering, and they were certain, so certain, you would never rise. But here you are, breathing, standing, and now it's time to tear their illusion apart. Listen closely. This is the moment the joke turns into the nightmare. This is the part where the prey becomes the predator. They thought their power lay in numbers, in their pathetic little circles, their cliques, their echo chambers of mockery. They thought rejection would crush you, that their laughter would shrink you, that their words would slice through your will like a dull blade. But power, real power, does not belong to the crowd. It belongs to the one who stands alone, unshaken. Power belongs to the one who gets knocked down and rises again and again and again until the world itself has no choice but to kneel. And that is the power they fear. Oh, they'll pretend they don't. They'll roll their eyes, they'll snicker, they'll call you obsessed, call you crazy, but beneath their smirks, behind their thinly veiled arrogance, they tremble. Because deep inside they know what happens when the one they tried to bury claws their way out of the grave. They know what happens when you rise, not as the person they mocked, but as something darker, sharper, unstoppable. You feel it, don't you? That fire in your chest, the storm beneath your skin, the hunger in your bones. It's been there all along, waiting for the day you stop apologizing for existing, for breathing, for taking up space. Waiting for the moment you stop seeking permission and start claiming what's yours. And now they will learn. They will learn that the one they dismissed, the one they counted out, the one they swore would never make it, was never weak at all. Oh, I can already hear their excuses, their pathetic little pleas. I was just joking. I didn't mean it like that. No, they weren't joking when they tried to break you. They weren't playing when they tore into you, when they made you feel like nothing. So why should you be merciful now? Why should you hesitate to show them exactly how wrong they were? They underestimated you, thought you would break, thought you would run, but what they never saw coming was this version of you. The one who no longer flinches, no longer pleads, no longer bends, the one who turns suffering into strength and pain into power. They built their throne on your torment, but now you're setting fire to the entire damn kingdom, and oh, how they will weep, how they will choke on the realization that their power was never real, that their cruelty was never strength, that their laughter was the last refuge of the weak. And here's the sweetest part, watching them crumble, watching their confidence crack, their voices falter, their smirks dissolve the moment they see what you've become. They thought you needed them, thought you would spend your life begging for scraps of their approval, their validation, their acceptance. But what they never understood, what their feeble minds could never grasp, was that you were never one of them. You were never meant to fit into their fragile little world. You were built to break out of it. And now the tables have turned. Oh, how they've turned. They never expected this, never thought you had it in you. They believed their words were law, their rejection was final, their mockery was enough to keep you shackled in place. But they forgot one thing. You were never just a victim. No, you were a time bomb. Tick, tick, tick. And now, look at them. Look at how they shift in their seats when you walk into the room. Look at how their voices lower, how their laughter dies in their throats. Look at how their eyes dart away, suddenly unsure, suddenly nervous, because now they feel it. They feel the power radiating off you, the weight of what you've become, and in the deepest part of them, the part they'll never admit exists, they regret ever crossing you. But regret is too late. You are not here for their apologies, their excuses, their desperate little attempts to rewrite history. You are here to bury them in the weight of their own irrelevance. Because here's the truth. The real pain for them isn't losing. It's watching you win. It's knowing that no matter what they do, no matter how much they scream into the void, they will never matter in your story again. They are ghosts now, shadows, whispers, echoes of a past that no longer holds power over you. And that is the ultimate revenge. Not anger, not violence. No, real vengeance is rising so high above them that their insults don't even reach you anymore. It's standing on the mountaintop while they choke on the dust of the empire you built. It's reaching a level where their jealousy eats them alive, where the moment they underestimated you was the moment they destroyed themselves. Oh, and how they will suffer, how they will writhe in the agony of their own failure, knowing they had the chance to stand beside greatness, and they threw it away. So go ahead, keep climbing, keep rising, keep making them regret the day they ever doubted you. And when they cry, when they beg, when they grasp at the air for a second chance, smile, because the person they tried to break no longer exists. The one standing before them now was born in the fire they tried to burn you with. But this is just the beginning. See, they thought this was a phase, a fluke, a moment of defiance that would fade with time. They convinced themselves that you'd tire out, that you'd collapse under the weight of your own ambition. But they don't understand, do they? This isn't a rebellion. This isn't some fleeting burst of rage. This is evolution. This is transformation. This is you becoming exactly what they feared most. Unstoppable. Because now there's no going back. Now the fire in you burns too hot, the hunger too deep, the vision too clear. You don't just walk into rooms anymore. You command them. You don't just exist, you dominate. And they don't know what to do with that. They don't know how to handle the fact that the person they swore would never amount to anything is now the one they can't escape, the one who haunts their every thought, who lingers in their nightmares, who forces them to face the truth they spent years denying. They spent so much time trying to keep you caged, but now they're the ones imprisoned, trapped inside their own regrets, bound by the chains of their own insecurities. Because while you rise, while you conquer, while you carve your legacy into the bones of this world, they remain exactly where you left them. Bitter, powerless, forgotten. And that is the final, cruelest twist of fate. Because their greatest punishment isn't what you do to them, it's what you don't. You don't chase them. You don't argue with them. You don't waste a single breath explaining yourself. No, you leave them behind. You let them rot in their own irrelevance while you ascend to heights they will never touch. Because this isn't about proving them wrong anymore. No, you've already done that. This is about proving yourself right. This is about stepping into the power that was always yours. This is about becoming so legendary, so untouchable, that the world itself has no choice but to bow. And them, they'll watch. From the shadows, from the sidelines, from the crumbling ruins of their own arrogance, watching, helpless, as you become everything they swore you never would. So go on. Keep rising. Keep building. Keep setting fire to every limitation they placed on you. And when they whisper your name now, it won't be with laughter. It won't be with mockery. No. It will be with fear.